And 3, 2, 1. All right. Guess where we are? We're in a metal building. Nick, what is this all about?
This is a red iron center column here, going ahead and separating two sections of a metal building. And we've gotten all kinds of questions from everybody about what is pre-engineered red iron steel. So we came out to an actual metal building here to go ahead and show you guys exactly that. This is the type of construction that we've been doing for commercial buildings for forever, you know?
What, actually, that's a great topic. I don't even know when we can even bring that up, but when can we date this back? Like, how long does the red iron even go back to?
You know,
like
I'm sure it's going to be different for different areas, but I think in Pasco we see it at least late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
You know, it's a really common method of commercial construction, specifically because it's cheaper.
Right.
You know, so you get these big, wide open areas. I don't know how much Josh can actually see through all this right now, but
he'll run it on B-roll.
Exactly.
Thanks, Josh. Cue the B-roll.
We got a big open area here, no interior bearing supports that you can build out literally whatever you need for your business.
Josh, as you can see here, if you're going around and zooming around, go ahead and take a look at the metal iron and then look at where the cross supports are. So if you see this, you have a long run here, you have a long run, and then you have a mid-span point where this is actually an extra support. So it's actually cool if you see it now. People are trying to recognize, well, I don't understand, how are you building inside of this metal building? Well, this is the shell of a building, and then inside of the building, this is when we build the frame. Go ahead and talk on that.
So to expand on that even a little bit further here, this one only exists because this is the outside wall.
Right.
This is the very end. So this is what we call an end girt. This is actually a part that comes up and supports the actual wall section on the backside from blowing in a storm. You'll see behind us on that way, there are no interior supports. And if you look up at the actual top of the ceiling here where it mates together, it's two separate metal building pieces that come and mate completely clear span.
Because for this particular one, there's another unit to the side of it, but it is all one building. All right, now we have our 2x4s, these lovely pieces of wood. Nick, go ahead and tell us what we do inside the building and how we construct the Barndominium.
Yeah, absolutely. So on the outside of the wall, you'll go ahead and have the metal building portion. That's going to be pre-insulated from the actual metal building company. And then we're going to take 2x4 walls, the same way that we'd go ahead and build interior walls of a regular house. And we're going to build them directly up against that and then insulate that as well. So
Does
you
that make
have
sense?
drywall to the interior of that, and that's actually where the inside portion of the wall is.
Yeah, so what he's explaining, which I think you explained well, it just gives you enough of that space. But let me ask you a question, because if you see what you're showing here, like you have the depth of this. So when you have the depth of this, it just gets padded out that much further to get the insulation.
So we're going to have, we're going to have drywall that's basically going to come out to this point, and where we do have any type of beam, we'll go ahead and just box out with drywall around that.
And it's fine. People are like, oh, is that going to look odd inside the house? No, that's a part of the architectural featuring of a metal building. It's kind of cool.
And what we can usually do in those instances is where this wall comes in at, we will have another wall that's branching out from that point. So we're going to hide those as best we can inside actual interior walls.
So to the public, we can hide them or expose them if you choose, right? So, because it's kind of cool in today's world, you see a lot of white and a lot of black. I think it would look really cool. You have like an alabaster white drywall, and then you have a black, like a midnight black exposed beam going all the way up, which I think would look really cool.
It's steel. It can be painted whatever color you want.
It's true.
And it's going to stay that way forever.
So true. And you could, or you can box it out, and then we could build it looks like a real column, like with stone or some kind of feature. So the options are limitless, right?
To clarify why we go ahead and use the actual wood, in traditional construction, you'll notice in commercial buildings like this, all the electric is run on the face. It's actually run in metal conduit all the way. By putting a frame wall up, we can mount an electric box directly to the stud the same way that a regular house would be, and we're still keeping our costs lower because now we don't have to go ahead and integrate commercial electric styles into an actual build.
I also think it's kind of, there's two options too for air conditioning. So people ask a lot of questions like, well, how do you run ductwork through an open wide space? And there's multiple options. Well, one, we can build down a chase, right, where you bring it across the height of your wall, and then you see the vents inside the chase. Or, which I like, is the industrial look. And I know you're telling me and you're telling everyone else that there's a little bit more cost involved for running like a true metal ductwork. But then there are the ductworks that are what do we call them? Inflatable, or what's the verbiage
It's
for
like
that?
a canvas.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a canvas expandable duct.
And the cost difference between building, or the benefits, I guess would say, between building a true chase versus having exposed, what are the benefits to that?
So exposed is going to give us a little bit of flexibility about where we actually have drops coming in at. So
Right.
it's going to give us better flexibility on actual air circulation.
Airflow, right?
And it's going to make the unit run a little bit more efficiently. Typically, when we're going to build out a chase, it's going to
Right.
be against some type of wall.
Right.
So we're really stuck at one side of the wall, and we're trying
Or
to
the
push
other,
air all the way
across, which causes issues. Or not issues so much. It's just harder. What's the word? I guess harder to cool. Or right?
It's less efficient.
It's less efficient. Thank
Yep,
you for that,
it's less
Nicholas. I also will tell you that fans help a lot in these as well. So huge fans circulating all the air with that, and then that will help fix that issue as well.
And to be completely clear, this is an old metal building.
Very old metal building.
The insulation that is in this metal building is probably needing to be updated.
I don't know if
anyway.
you've recognized by now, I've lost 7 pounds, along with Nick, probably right here, just
Right.
drenched alone, because it is an older building, not insulated properly. That's why we're in here looking at these older buildings, recognizing all the failures of them so we don't mimic that.
So, and what we're actually doing now with our wall sections and our roof sections is they have a new type of insulation that can go in these metal buildings that's double lined. So it actually has a vinyl lining on either side.
Right.
It's completely self-contained, and that helps go ahead and keep some of that heat transfer down as well.
Yep. So we hope this answers just some of your questions, what inside of a metal building looks like. And I will tell you, very soon you're going to be seeing all of our content of everything that we're building. We got things coming out of permitting. We got contracts going on. We have appointments going on. So once again, bear with us because we've been busy. The contract has been busy. Nick's been busy. Josh has been busy behind the camera. We have been busy. So stay tuned because we got a lot more coming up. And remember, if you're interested in any of information, it's barndo.build. That's BARNDO.build.
Brando.
Brando, Marlon Brando. Get a Bondo. Anyway, I'm out of here. See ya.